Hello, this is John Paul. I'm at the concert house here in Stockholm for tonight's concert by the Royal Stockholm Phil. I think some of you may have already been getting feed for the last 30 seconds, but here on our end, on my phone, it was very unclear whether we were on or not. So I'm glad that I finally made it on because I tried 3 or 4 times to get on. When we're getting started, I want to give you a view of the concert house from outside. We're here in the rain, so I won't stay out there too long. Hold on a second. I'll put on camera 2 and show you the outside of the concert house. From outside, walk you up to it. If it weren't raining, we would have started this way. It's a magnificent blue hall, which has been around for, I think, over 100 years now. And in front of it, there's this artistic sculpture of the arts. People are starting to arrive. It is a drizzly, gray, chilly spring day in Stockholm. Right across the way there is a place that used to be called Pub because it belonged to Paul Bergstrom. And it was a department store where Leon Trotsky came to get a good suit when he was on his way to the revolution in Moscow in 1917. Let's get the camera turned. Well, no, let's do a walk-in for you so I can get in out of the turn this back around so you can see me. Sorry about all these technical difficulties, but simple things like turning a camera around can suddenly become complicated when you're actually trying to do them. I'm getting offers to upload music and do all sorts of wonderful things, but really, fellas, all I want to do is get my camera turned around again. If I can't, this is going to be difficult to get done. There. No, I don't know if I'm back yet. There. Finally. Okay. Listen, let me give you a little bit of background about tonight's concert. I'm so sorry for all these technical difficulties. Folks, they happen. Tonight's concert is a very Swedish concert. Ryan Bancroft, the artistic director and chief conductor, he's away. Right now, he's in Finland conducting the Tapiola Sinfonietta, which is doing a lovely program of, what are they doing? I think it's Schumann or something like that. Yeah, they're doing Schumann, and then they're doing some pieces by Swaharo, the Swedish woman, composer who moved to Paris and did all the writing there. But tonight, here in Stockholm, they'll be starting out with Elfrida André's Concert Overture in D major. Then they'll do Mats Larsson's Gotha Cello Concerto, which is a world premiere of a piece which was commissioned by the Stockholm Royal Symphony itself. So this is a big deal tonight, very Swedish. And then after the intermission, they'll come back and they'll do Wilhelm Steinhammer's Symphony No. 2, which is one of the most noted Swedish symphonies that exist. So it's a thoroughly Swedish evening. Now, Johannes Gustafsson is he's a very Swedish composer. He has been the chief conductor at the Jönköping Sinfonietta, which is right in the heart of Sweden, and he has also been a conductor at the Oulu Symphony Orchestra in Finland. So he's dyed-in-the-wool Swedish. Now, let me tell you about the two pieces they're doing before the intermission, and I'll come back at the intermission and then talk to you a little bit more about the Steinheimer Symphony. The first piece, the Concert Overture in D minor by Elfriede André, it's very interesting. She was a pioneer Swedish composer, born in 1867 or thereabouts, and she became an organist at the cathedral in Gothenburg, and relatively early on in her life, and stayed the chief organist there until her death in 1929. So she was a figure in Gothenburg life, which is the second city in Sweden, all through the late 19th century and early 20th century. She wrote a couple of symphonies for organ, which still get played. She wrote a couple of symphonies for orchestra, which I do not think get played as much. She wrote an opera and a number of pieces of chamber music, which you don't hear all that often. So this is a real treat. You're getting a chance to hear Elfriede André, and she was also a woman suffragist during the whole time. So not only was she composing and building a career for herself, which was unusual for a woman in those days, but she was fighting for other women to be able to do the same. Then, when that's over, they will then be doing this piece by Mats Larsson Goth. And Mats Larsson Goth is very much a respected conductor currently here in Sweden. He is Swedish. He composed at least one opera called Löftet, The Promise, which was produced at the Royal Swedish Opera a few years ago. And the Swedish Concert House regularly does very interesting extra programs, one of which is a Composers Weekend Festival. And back in 2016, Mats Goth was the focus of that Composers Festival. Now, he composed this cello concerto specifically for a noted cellist, Thorleif Thedéen, who is also a Nordic personality and talent, who has become internationally known. And I want to read for you what he said about the cello concerto himself as sort of a preface to your enjoyment of it this evening. Goth said, "The cello concerto for Thorleif captures everything that a cello can convey: longing, dreams, pain, and melancholy, but also anger and resignation." That sounds like a lot of fun. "I have used the full range of expression," he explained. So what you have here is a contemporary composer who composed a piece deliberately to afford as much range of expression to the cellist as possible. I think it would be hard for you to find a more Nordic evening of music, and a Nordic evening of music that you haven't heard yet, because I very much doubt any of us have heard this concerto by this terrific woman composer, and we cannot have heard Goth's cello concerto because today's the world premiere. So I encourage you to sit back, enjoy it. I'm going to have to go in now because we're about 10 minutes before the concert begins. If I can turn the camera around one more time, I'm going to take that risk to maybe give you a chance to see what it's like to walk into the place. And I will walk you in, but then I will click off and leave you. We're at the entrance. We're in the lobby, and I don't propose to keep filming as I'm going through the line, the ticket line. But I will be back in about, I think, just about an hour from now, because those two pieces will take about 35 minutes, and then there'll be a 25-minute break, and then there'll be the 45-minute Steinhammer Second Symphony. So I'll be back in about an hour to give you my impressions of the two pieces, the overture and the cello concerto, and maybe chat with some people in the lobby and get the impressions of some of the Swedes too. So ciao for now, and I'll see you in about an hour. I think it's scheduled for like 7:35.